I'm Dutch, and let's react to the Americans. Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Johan, and I am a typical Dutchman. And if you're planning to come over to Europe for your holidays or to live here permanently, or if you're wondering why is in America everything so expensive in comparison with Europe, then you are at the right channel, because we're looking at the differences of life and living, the cost of life and living in the US versus the cost of life and living in Europe, or in specifically the Netherlands. And for today, we're going to take a look at Noella reacts from White Americans Break Down in Tears. Okay, the American dream is dead. And I wonder, what is this? White Americans, specifically white Americans, yeah, I want, because why isn't just Americans break down in tears? The American dream is that. Now it's specifically white Americans break down in tears. So aren't black Americans, I won't stabilize, but the Afro-Americans break down in tears? It's specifically the white. So I wonder, what is here? So let's take a look why the American dream is dead. From Noella Reacts.
I am so sad. I cannot believe the
Okay, to kick off, wow. It's hitting me right in the face. If I see a woman cry, I can't have it. I can't.
big, ugly, dead-ass bill was approved in America.
Oh my God. This is about, she's calling it something else, but this is about the big, okay.
Like, I am shocked.
This bill is an absolute betrayal of the American people.
We're fucked. There's really no other way to say it. The one big bucket of bullshit bill has passed the House today.
It passed. Oh, news for me. Ding, ding. It has passed. I thought it was, the last thing that I know about it was be fully read too, so that everyone could hear what it actually was.
Thursday, July 3rd.
Did y'all hear how Trump's big bullshit bill passed? 4 House Republicans changed their votes to yes after Trump gave them signed MAGA hats and selfies.
Signs a conga line of angsty Republicans, lawmakers filed through the West Wing on Wednesday. They walk out with a signed merchandise, photos of the Oval Office, and by some accounts, a newfound appreciation for the bill.
Because how many?
Yes,
Wait.
after Trump gave them signed MAGA hats and selfies.
Oh. It's not even corruption, because if you're corrupt, you take money to do something that you actually wouldn't do normally. But this is not even corrupt. This is getting a signed MAGA hat and some selfies with the president, and then you change your vote for something hugely important too, from no to yes. You're a bag of, you're no.
Because how many MAGA assholes are on Medicaid? I'd be really interested to know the actual statistics, but I'm sure plenty of them are.
This is how it went.
Why are you voting for Trump for? Because I'm fucking tired of being broke!
And this is how it's going.
I've been fucking pumped for this no tax on overtime. I've been fucking ecstatic, dude. I know America's been waiting on this shit. Everybody's been bragging. Man, I can't wait. I'm going to have so much extra money. It's going to, bring in so much more money.
I know, but it looks like a fake mustache, by the way, but yeah.
Per month. Wrong.
We don't want to hear shit when you lose your Medicaid. We don't want to hear shit when you lose your SNAP. We don't want to hear shit from those states when FEMA doesn't show up for your tornadoes, hurricanes, and floods this year. We don't want to hear shit when you figure out that those tax breaks are not for you, but they're for the rich. We don't want to hear shit when you figure out that no tax on tips and overtime ain't even real. We don't
No tax on what?
hurricanes and floods this year. We don't want to hear shit when you figure out that those tax breaks are not for you, but they're for the rich. We don't want to hear shit when you figure out that no tax on tips and overtime ain't even...
No tax on tips and overtimes. Okay. Ain't even real. Yeah, I saw yesterday in the video that the federal minimum wage was not applied for the people who actually get tips. So, and that it's even taxed. You're taxing the tips, and then they're calling us in Europe that we have too high taxes, that we pay too much tax. But if your tips are being taxed,
even real.
It's sad. It's sad it's happening, but oh man.
We don't want to hear shit when you figure out that he is increasing the debt ceiling by trillions of dollars, which is going to cost us a lot, because we try to tell you. So you're excited about this bill passing? Just remember, when all that shit happens to you, to not open your fucking mouth.
What's up, guys? You won't believe what white people are saying about Trump big beautiful bill. They are so pissed with that. They are angry with that. So let's dive in. Credit belongs to the owner of the video. I will come back with more commentary.
Well, they passed it. They passed the budget bill. There's been a lot of arguments over what this bill has been called. The president wanted to call it the one big beautiful bill because of how many things it does in a single document. Other people have called it the big ugly bill. But I think it should be referred to as the bill, because that's exactly what it's going to do to so many Americans. It's going to make them die slow in front of our very eyes. Millions of people are going to be cut off of Medicaid, which is a different name in every single state. Some of you don't even know that your family members are on Medicaid. In Pennsylvania, it's called medical assistance. In other places, it has other different names, so that way they could pretend that the federal government wasn't helping their citizens. SNAP benefits are going to be gutted for millions of people, which means more people are going to be hungry and desperate.
SNAP benefits, something like food bank or food tickets. SNAP doesn't say healthcare and Medicaid I get, but SNAP doesn't say anything to me. If you let me know in the comments what it is.
Other things that kept people from having to make tough decisions, very tough decisions, are now going to be ripped from their hands. And why? For austerity. That's what they're going to call it. They're going to call it austerity for poor people, for working people. But for the most ostentatious people, there is no austerity. For people with billionaire phone party yachts, for people who get to wakeboard on their private Hawaiian islands, for everyone on the Epstein list, all of them, they get to live lavish lifestyles because their tax cuts have been locked in. There are so...
Yeah, that's what I understand about the big bill. I won't say ugly or beautiful. The big bill. That it's giving tax cuts to the rich and more taxes to the working class. Yeah.
So many things in this giant bill that have made sure that so many of us will die slow. But it doesn't matter because Republicans got theirs. Donald Trump is going to sign this bill on the 249th anniversary of Americans' Declaration of Independence from a tyrant. and he'll be handed the bill by J.D. Vance, a man who claimed that he was an Ohio hillbilly who has done nothing but destroy the very place that brought him to the dance.
This is how it went.
Why are you voting for Trump for? Because I'm fucking tired of being broke.
And this is how it's going.
I've been fucking pumped for this no tax
It's the same. I just.
on overtime. I've been fucking ecstatic, dude. I know America's been waiting on this shit. Everybody's been bragging. Man, I can't wait. I'm gonna have so much extra money. It's gonna, bring in so much more money per month. Wrong. Wrong. I did the fine print looking. It is not fucking gonna help us month to month. It's not gonna help you check none. They're still gonna tax the fuck out of your goddamn check.
Buddy, you voted for the man who lied over 33,000 times while in his first term.
Trump false or misleading claims total 30,573 over 4 years. And this from January 2021.
Has conned people his whole entire life, and you yourself expected not to get lied to and conned? Well, I guess this is what it looks like when a Trump supporter decides to wake up, take the boot out of his mouth, and realize, yo, we were right. Donald Trump's only interest is giving tax breaks to his billionaire best friends while screwing over the middle class. We told you that. You said, ain't no way that a billionaire and his best friend, the richest man in the world, won't have the middle class's best interest in mind. And we said you were crazy, and you said we were fear-mongering, and here we are, and you're regretting this, which is very interesting. And
Yeah. I wasn't into the United States 8 years ago when he started the first term, but yeah. From the first moment I heard some of his speeches, the election campaign, I already made a video about that. It was for me clear that this isn't the right way to go. There were too many similarities between what we know as one of the baddest guys we ever had over here from 1939 until someone in Berlin committed suicide in 1945. That guy, with also a very strange mustache, that guy, what he did and how he did it and what he did it during his years is the same that I see in what Trump is doing to the United States. It's the same.
a cherry on top for you really quick. Coal miners. Donald Trump took away your guys' black lung screening. It's a disease that you guys are very susceptible to. In West Virginia, he took away the black lung screening. That was free and accessible to you guys for a long time. It's been a benefit for a long time. He took that away. So that is just a cherry on top of me trying to let you know that Donald Trump does not give a damn about the working class, and he never has. My name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
I am so sad.
Yeah, oh, what? Yeah, okay.
I cannot believe the big, ugly, dead-ass bill was approved in America. Like, I am shocked. I'm shocked that that was approved by people that were voted in to represent Americans. I cannot believe that they just voted to approve ICE to go from being funded $10 billion to $100 billion. You just think, how could people vote for that? How could people vote for that?
Good question. Yeah, I say it as it is. It's their own fault because they're stupid. They don't listen. They don't get teach to do some critical thinking. And a lot of people in America do critical thinking, and they actually think for what the heck. But a lot of people listen to a beautiful speech again and again and again, and another sentence, another sentence, and another sentence, another sentence, and oh yeah, and they believe a man on his, I don't know if he had blue eyes, but he's at least orange. But they don't, yeah, and that's when you get it. That's what you're asking for, and that's what you get. So I know why people vote for that. They didn't do it on purpose because they just not educated enough to do so.
How could people sleep at night? How could
Because they don't think.
they vote for that? I think that I am grieving America. I am grieving the America that I used to know, that used to be heroes, that used to be like the good guy. I mean, they were arrogant, but they weren't evil. And those people that voted to...
She's actually broken up here. She's actually broken up for the bad of America. I fully sympathize here. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Increase funding for ICE from $10 billion to $100 billion. To take healthcare insurance away from 10 million Americans. To take food away from children. They're the bad guys.
Maybe when your neighbors...
Yeah, and I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar enough with the American laws, etc. But I hope, I sincerely hope that if there is, and there's gonna be a new president in, hopefully in 4 years, but I hope even earlier than 4 years, but with this kind of with this corruption in the Senate, I don't think that an impeachment will be valid, because the Republicans will just give in again. But I hope that after 4 years that this president is gone, that the next president is able to undo all the things that this president is doing to the country. I hope so. If not, then I fear the worst for everyone living in the United States, white or black or any other color. It's gotta be worse. It's going, yeah.
are dying in the streets. Maybe that will wake people up. Maybe when people are getting foreclosed on in their homes, maybe that will wake people up and there are no resources to turn to. Maybe when you have to take in all of your elderly relatives because their nursing homes are being shut down, maybe that's when people wake up. Maybe when children in your community are starving and malnourished. There's already 1 in 10 children in the United States facing food insecurity. Maybe that will wake people up. Maybe when you have to drive 3 hours away to go to a hospital because they're closing rural hospitals left and right with this bill. Maybe
closing hospitals also in the rural areas. Maybe they will wake up. I don't think so. I don't think so, because critical thinking, education is key.
that will wake people up. I don't know what it's going to take to wake people up to the conditions of so many people living in this country. Maybe we'll wake up.
That bill is passed. Over $900 billion in Medicaid.
Hey, not a white. Excuse me, but white Americans break down. She's not white. It's. I don't care, but because it is.
8 cuts.
Let's go back.
Conditions of so many people living in this country. Maybe we'll wake up.
Yeah, I think that as long as money dictates what happens in the government, you're screwed. Point. Money talks. with everything in the United States. And if you don't have money, if you don't have enough money, then you can't change a thing in the United States.
That bill is passed. Over $900 billion in Medicaid cuts. SNAP.
$900 billion. Almost $1 trillion, because I saw last time we had $4 trillion is in healthcare. So almost 1/4
is being cut. Student loans, Pell Grants, harder to get. ICE is about to be the biggest law enforcement group in the country. ICE. There's $100 trillion billion going to the defense, and the 1% is about to live their best life like they've been doing this whole time.
Yeah, it's always a lot of money goes to defense. And what is he doing with it? I don't know. Giving it to contractors who make up material and get rich over it. But thank you, United States government, for making me rich, for producing another $10 million rocket that you only can shoot once, and then it's gone. It's even worse than fireworks.
Hospitals are about to start shutting down, which some of them have already prepared to start shutting down. It's going to be harder for a lot of people now. A lot of people are about to die, and that's not even a joke. And it makes me sad because a lot of y'all MAGA people, y'all voted for this man because he was a white man. And he had how many felonies and how many failed businesses, but it didn't matter. Because I would rather vote for the white man who has no experience and is not here for the whole American.
Yeah, that's true. He has no political history at all. He was just president 8 years ago, 4 years ago, I would say. And it's never been in the Senate. He's literally bought with money, as I say, bought his presidency. That should not be possible, but is. And it can only be in the United States of America.
Body, then vote for a black woman who's had the experience her whole life and actually wanted us to do better. Wanted better for America and for all the Republicans, y'all spineless POSs. Y'all, I hope y'all get unseated. I really do. But for everybody else, we tried. We did the best we could.
Yeah, I believe there are hot seats now in 2 years. Hopefully the Democrats are getting better. I don't want to be political on this channel, but it's sad.
We did the best we could. Primaries is what's next. I'm taking a break. I need a break from this app. I need a break from everything. Because I feel like November all over again when Republicans were saying that, oh, Project 2025 isn't real. It's not real. It doesn't exist. And then turn around and after he won, it's real. And now they're saying, oh, we are touching Medicaid. Now they admit it after they passed the bill. So y'all dummies, y'all fell for it again. Congratulations, y'all screwed all of America.
Guys, what you just heard is from those senior and families. Like,
wow. Oh, I need to listen to what she has to say. Really have to listen to what she has to say.
Like saying like, this is going to affect us. We are so sad. Like, he's doing this. Why is he doing this after Americans voted for him?
And then the cuts mid-sentence.
Trusted him for the better health care and better economy. Why is he doing that? People are so confused. And again, other people are saying, we told you, we warned you about this guy, but you guys, you didn't want to listen. How come, you voted for someone like this who don't care about people's well-being. So guys, I just want to welcome you to the channel, but it's so sad, like many people, they are going to lose their Medicare. It's really something really big. Of course, you will not feel okay when your neighbor is sick or suffering from something and they can't even get treated. How are you gonna feel about that? This is not even about one person or whatever. This is humor. You have to love one another. So guys, we still have more clips to see, and credit belongs to the owner of the videos. I will be back with commentary.
They fucking did it. The House passed the big ugly bill, a legislative middle finger to the working class, the poor, the sick, and the elderly. And while the rich are popping champagne, the rest of you are about to drown in the consequences you voted for, ignored, or helped manifest through performative bullshit. Republican senators and representatives just screwed over their own constituents. And red states? Many of the poorest in the country are getting crushed first. So let me speak clearly to every single group that brought us to this point. To every Trump voter, fuck off. You voted for this. You weren't conned. You weren't tricked. You knew exactly what he stood for. Cruel.
I don't know. I don't know if they weren't conned and they weren't tricked, but I don't think that they also didn't know what he was standing for. I just think that they didn't listen. They only hear the big words like, I'm gonna make America great again, and I'm gonna create jobs, and I'm gonna create. That's what they hear, but how you want to do it and how you want to finance it, and no, I don't think that no. But yeah.
Cruelty, greed, corruption, and you wanted more. Well, here it is. Your rural hospitals are shutting down. Your grandma's nursing home is going under. Your insulin's about to cost more than your rent. You dragged us all the way down with you. And I hope you feel every goddamn consequence. No sympathy, just suffering. You earned it. To everyone who didn't vote, fuck off. You sat on your hands while the house was on fire. You thought silence made you neutral? It didn't. It made you complicit. You had power and refused to use it. So next time your community loses access to healthcare, your rent skyrockets, or your elderly parents can't find a bed in a nursing home, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. There's always non-voters. I don't know how many there were in America. I don't know. I really don't know. But the non-voters are, I don't know if they are as guilty as the voters by non-voting, because maybe if the non-voters had voted, they would have voted. It could be that they have voted for Trump anyway. So, yeah. But they are now also a victim of their own non-voting. Yeah. Hopefully next time they will vote for the good or the bad.
You let this happen. To the uncommitted crowd, kiss my entire ass. You threw a tantrum in a burning house. You withheld support in a two-party system like it was a badge of honor, while fascists waltz in through the front door. You didn't force anyone's hand. You didn't move the needle. You just cleared the path for disaster. When Medicaid vanishes, when your rights shrink, when lives fall apart, know that you helped light the fuse. To every anti-Kamala leftist, fuck all the way off. You're not revolutionaries. You're not fighting the system. You're just bitter, sanctimonious edgelords who hate seeing a black woman in power more than you hate fascism. You'll write 17-paragraph posts on grammar and tone while
is that what it's all about? That because we had a black man in power, Obama, and is being a black, being a woman, two factors, and educated, because she really was educated. Those combination was enough, no matter what she wanted to do, good or bad, but simply because she was a black woman, they wouldn't allow her to become the most powerful woman in the nation. I believe the first woman president in US history. If that's in, yeah, it could be, but let me know in the comments. And while you're down here, then like and subscribe to the channel too. if you like my comments about this.
Republicans strip bodily autonomy, crush healthcare, and drown us in debt. You're not allies. You're fucking dead weight. Get out of the lane. We're done coddling your smug inaction. This bill isn't conservative policy. It's legislative warfare. The top 1%, $75,000 in annual tax breaks. And the top 0.1%, 6 figures, easy. Regular people, a few $100. Maybe. Low-income families, punished with red tape and bureaucratic landmines. And Medicaid? It's not just being slashed, it's being gutted. $1.3 trillion erased. Hospitals? Bankrupt.
1.3 trillion.
ERs shuttered. Nursing homes collapsing. All so Republicans can tongue-kiss billionaires and call it policy. This bill punishes the very people who voted for it. Poorer red states, rural towns, elderly voters who backed Trump thinking he gave a damn. And guess what? You weren't tricked. You were thrilled. So yes, I hope you suffer deeply.
Oh, he's pissed. He's really pissed.
I hope you choke on every cut you cheered for. I hope you watch your towns dry up. Your parents turned away from care. Your neighbors die waiting for Medicaid approvals. Because this is what you wanted. And now you get to live it. This isn't just failure. This is sabotage. Designed, deliberate, and devastating. And to everyone who helped make it possible, whether you voted for Trump, didn't vote at all, played uncommitted politics, or sabotaged the left from inside, you can all go fuck yourselves.
Now,
he's pissed. Yeah.
Some people are shocked to learn that 67% of MAGA are in favor of this. They're supporting this. But trust me, wait until it hit them. Wait until it affects them direct when maybe their grandpa, their grandma, they can't afford their medical care or medicine, whatever. So they will know what they supported. I'm sure if soon enough we'll start to see video of people crying. So far we saw some, but we see more as the time goes. Now they don't know what's inside. Maybe they're looking one side, they're like, okay, this will favor me on this part, but you don't think beyond that. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. We all know the acts that happen anytime. We don't know what will happen next week, next month. So now those one who are supporting it, I know they see it's not affect them. That's how some MAGA are. When they see it's not affecting them, they are quiet. You see, we saw how Latinos, MAGA Latino been regretting, farmers who are MAGA, they've been regretting because those one, they are really, really suffering. But wait a moment, when this one start happening, you will see many people come out here, cry every time. So guys, if you're watching this video right now, let me know what you think. What do you think about what's going on? So, and we still have few clips to see. Credit belongs to the owner of the original video. Let's watch. I'll be back with commentary.
Well, they passed the bill, just like we knew they would. And I just have to take a moment to say I have spent my entire life listening to every single Republican I know in my extended family, in my community, and in my many red state workplaces complain that the national debt would be our undoing. And through gritted teeth, they seemed to lament that we would have to come after entitlement programs if we wanted to save ourselves. Because yes, it is true that Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security make up over half of our federal spending. And even though these programs pay for themselves through a healthy and secure society, the kinds of people who can artificially reduce health and happiness to line items on a budget cannot resist the urge to circle those alleged costs as targets for cuts. Like the clueless and ignorant CEO who thinks he can cut pay and benefits without reducing employee happiness or productivity. These people actually believe that federal revenue won't be harmed by ripping healthcare and food support away from 10 to 15 million workers and consumers. And now here...
Yeah, he's right. He's right. I didn't even think about it. If I understand him correctly, he's right. He's saying that the big companies don't understand, or don't want to understand, that, as I see it, that if they don't have enough workers to do the work they need to do, the company goes down because they can't find the workers. The workers are either dead, I don't hope so, or very ill, or has left, that's my opinion, leave America, has left to to Mexico or to Canada, or they don't realize that if people are sick and can't and have to live in their car, like I see a lot of people do, they can be productive enough in a work environment. So yeah, he's right.
Here we are after 50 fucking years of listening to them cry about how expensive it is to take care of our citizens. They get their wish and they cut $1 trillion fucking dollars from Medicaid. Also, they can put those entitlement cuts toward the national debt, right? Right? Fuck no. They took $1 trillion worth of food and healthcare from poor people, and they borrowed another $2.3 trillion on top of that. And they gave it all to the ultra wealthy through tax cuts. Same wealthy people who over that exact same 50 years of crying saw their income increase by as much as 420%, while the rest of us broke even at best or backslid into poverty at worst.
Yeah. He's right. He's calling out the facts. The fact is, yeah. Oh.
Is across every single facet of life, religion, politics, economics, culture, and crime. The Republican Party you know today is nothing more than the party of debt, poverty, cruelty, and above all else, hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy, yeah. Because that's how the system works in the United States, that people voted for them to be in the Senate or to be in Congress. And now they are backstabbed, literally backstabbed by the ones they are voted for. So they say, I'm gonna make it best for our state and for my constituents. But at the same time, they think, yeah, but I'm gonna fill my pocket with the money and I get a signed mega head from the president. Yeah. Hypocrisy. Let's hear what she has to say.
They passed the bill.
Oh, there's all people who are now realizing they passed the bill. They hoped for that he didn't, but...
The pro-life party passed the bill to uninsure millions of Americans. Children, 1 in 3, 1 in 2 children, the elderly, disabled, the chronically ill, the rural population. This is going to decrease access to healthcare. It's going to take away preventative care, screenings for children. People are not going to go to the doctor because they can't afford it. This is going to overload the hospital systems. ERs are going to be jacked.
I guess she works in the healthcare system somewhere as a nurse or as a doctor.
Impact. Rural healthcare facilities are going to shut down, all while putting more money into billionaires' hands. Make it make sense. I hate this timeline.
This bill is an
I hate this timeline. Yeah. Oh.
absolute betrayal of the American people. The House just passed their big billionaire bill, and now it's heading to the president's desk. It's an absolutely devastating time to be an American, and it comes one day before Independence Day. Millions of people will lose health coverage. Hospitals will shut their doors forever. SNAP, Medicaid, and disaster relief will be slashed to pieces. Cancer research.
Yeah, hospitals gonna close their doors forever. So that's, I guess, an answer to my question as is, can this be reversed at some time or another? Because I know that President Trump, the first time, was one of his things that he did was, I'm gonna reverse the Obamacare. So he could reverse it. So I hope for the United States that the next president, or I don't think the president, the next Congress and Senate can reverse this bill, because
Church, public schools, clean energy, they will all be starved of funding. Meanwhile, billionaires and Trump's mega donors Rake in your hard-earned money. We cannot, and we will not, let them get away with this. This is the moment of truth. We either rise up together, or we continue to let MAGA Republicans tear our country apart.
Yeah, this could be, I don't know for sure, but I don't know how much reach there is, but this could lead to civil war. People rising up, getting their Second Amendment, having a gun, and become militia and creating war. This could turn into civil war. And then ICE can have 100 billion, but you can't stop 100 billion people.
Guys, you are not going to believe something I'm seeing. I'm seeing people from Nebraska, Kentucky, like when he starts regretting, say we voted for you thinking you are going to put us first, you are going to give us better life, health care, and now you're cutting even what we had. What is that? Why did you do this? This is not what we voted for. And I'm wondering, what did you vote for? Because you were waving flag, cheering when they said they are going to build the wall and everything, and now you are saying you didn't vote for this, you voted for this, and even more, wait for it.
Yeah, they voted for it. It's maybe they didn't know what they're voting for. I don't know, but did they even listen? Did they read into the program and listen to what people say and what was written on paper, and the goals and Project 2025 was already on the table. So if they would have read in, they would have known what they voted for. I heard that even some congressmen and Senate people did not read the entire bill because it was, 200 pages or so for a bill?
It will come. Because there's some MAGA who are acting like, okay, but wait until it's knock on your door. We see you out here crying, saying like, oh, I didn't know. You guys, you knew this guy is like, he don't keep his promise. That's the first thing, that. Like he only care about himself and about his rich friends. So far, you saw what he's doing. You saw how he just betrayed farmers. You saw how he betrayed Latinos. Because it doesn't matter, you may say like, so far me, I'm okay. Yeah, but if someone is able to betray someone who supported them when they needed it the most, trust me, that person can betray you anytime you feel like it.
Yeah, it was already clear that he did, and it was already clear when he of the January 6th. People were released, were pardoned after they stormed the Hill. And it should be done again, but this time with the cops on the other end, supporting the people getting into the White House.
Anytime he's done using you. We saw what's happening with Elon Musk. Elon Musk supported him. We saw that with everything, with the money. He even lost a lot. You remember the way the Tesla went down, everything. But you see, he said maybe he may deport him.
Yeah, Musk also supported him. A lot of money came in on the Doge, but after he has done what he had wanted to do, was canceling all kinds of investigations into his company, he was gone.
So that shows you this guy doesn't care. Once he's done using you, he will just kick you out. So I don't know why, guys, you don't want to open your eyes. You don't want to see reality. You don't want to see what's happening until you wait for that to come and knock on your door.
Yeah, she's right. They didn't want to use it. I'm going to leave it here because otherwise the video will be too long. And if you like the video, if you like the comments, then like and subscribe. And if you want to see more of this kind of videos, then you can see this part, and otherwise subscribe to my channel would be greatly appreciated. And I will see you in the next video.